Welcome to this tutorial on how to create an expense management system for your business using Google Forms and Sheets. What you see on your screen right now is the dashboard view of an expense management system using Google Forms and Sheet, which I had created. In my earlier video, I had given a quick demo of the expense management system. This is the dashboard view. Here you have the form responses. In this video, I just want to take you through that in case if you want something similar and you wanted to create it yourself, how do you go about doing it? So what I'll do is I will create a new form, incorporate sheets, and create a small little dashboard, something similar to this, right from scratch. So this could be a little lengthy video, about 15 minutes or so, but watch it for step-by-step instructions if you want to create something similar for your business yourself. So let's get started. Ideally, go to your Google Drive, create a separate folder. So here you can see in my Drive, I have a separate folder, expense management tutorial. We need to get started with the form first. So click on new, go to Google Forms, start with the blank form. It'll ask you to cancel or create. In my case, it's create and share because this Drive is shared with my other Gmail ID as well. So just click on create or create and share if that's the option for you. Name your form. So your company name of your company, and then expense management. Now, first we'll go to settings. Now in settings, what I want you to check is the form default. So here it says collect email addresses by default. Now, in case if your employees, anybody who's using the form to submit expenses, has a Gmail ID, it could either be a free Gmail ID or a G Suite account, then enable this. What this helps with is the person who is submitting the expense does not have to enter his and her email manually every time. In case if people are not logged into Google on the Android phones or on the laptops while submitting the expense, then you may want to disable this and make them submit their email addresses manually. So either disable it, enable it as per your requirement. Then go to responses. Here it says collect email addresses, that is enabled. So again, disable that if you don't want it to be appearing automatically and if you want people to submit it manually. Then you have an option which says send responses a copy of their response. I would say make it always, because employees are submitting expense. You would want them to receive a copy of what they've submitted. This will help in reconciliation in case there are any queries which the approver may have. Then let's get started with creating the form. So we've already enabled email address collections. Now, first thing what I will do is it says that the form is automatically collecting emails for Excel consulting users. I want it to be for others as well, because your employees may not have a company email account. They may be using their personal email as well. So I will disable this. So anybody with a Gmail account, whether it's on my company email or generic Gmail or any other G Suite, will be able to fill up the survey. Then we'll go to questions. So email is already there. We don't need that again. We will start with employee ID. Now, in case your company does not have employee IDs, then you could just move on to name. But employee ID, in case if you have IDs for your employees, is a unique identifier. So in case if you have employees with similar names, employee ID becomes the best way to differentiate. And then you will have the name of the person. This you could even eliminate, because if employee ID is there, you would already have a list of all employees and names could be pulled automatically. But still, it doesn't take much to fill in the name, and especially with Google autofill features, the name at times will be filled automatically. So have the name thing there. And then the most important field, which is the amount. So how much did they really spend on? So it has to be a mandatory field. And then we'll move on to function or department. So whatever is the terminology that you use in your company. Department is the department which is responsible for this expense. So we'll make it multiple choice and add the names of the departments in your organizations. Let's say HR, sales, marketing, scroll down, admin, ops, and let's keep an option of other. Then you will also want to know the category. So where did the department or the function spend the money for? So category, again, it's multiple choice. Or let's say travel, a common expense, food, then let's say equipment, they buy something new for the company, technology, like new software subscriptions, technology, uh, marketing, any marketing expense, then maybe let's keep it admin, any admin expenses. So keep options as per you. We'll have a miscellaneous option as well. So this is customizable, use where you spend most. Then after this, we have the function, we have the category. One important thing is to add is if the expense is billable to the client or not, because in some cases, there are certain expenses which you may bill your clients for. So add the option of billable, yes or no. And since we are adding this option, we would also want to capture the client name in case the expense is billable. So it will not be a mandatory field. And also you'll need to add a short note here. Enter client name if this is a billable expense. Done. So it will not be mandatory. Then also leave an option for remarks in case the employee or the person filling up the form wants to add a remarks notes to justify the expense or any special information that they want to share. Don't keep it mandatory. And then finally, have a field for attaching invoices or any other proof which they would want to share. So click on file upload. It'll ask you for a permission. Let respondents upload files to Drive. Click on continue. Again, don't make this mandatory because not all expenses can be supported with a bill. And you could change the settings here. So you could only allow specific file types. Let's say doc file, PDF, and image. This would suffice in most cases. You can also choose maximum number of files, 1, 5, or 10. Let's say 1 is good enough. And you can also restrict the file size. So in this case, I will say, let's say 1 MB. 1 MB is a good enough size for all bill copies and all. So this is your form. You can change the color palette if you want. Let's say if you want to have color, you could choose a header image. You could either upload your images or you could choose something which Google suggests automatically. Anything which looks like work. Okay, I'll select this maybe. Insert. So here you have a nice design for your form. You could remove that as well. Let's see how the form looks. So click on the preview icon. And here I have the form. So you could see that, okay, the email ID is collected automatically. Then you have employee ID, you have name, you have amount, department, category, billable, yes, no. If billable, yes, client name, remarks, attachment, and then you submit. So let's then go to the form creator, click on responses. It says accepting responses. You want to create a Google Sheet where the responses will be recorded. So click on this, create new spreadsheet, create. Now, in the same folder, Google will create a response sheet. So if you go to the folder which I had created the form at, you will see there will be two more options there. One will be the spreadsheet for responses, and there'll be another folder which will collect all the attachments that your employees will submit while adding the expenses to the Google form. So here you could send the link of the form. So click on send. You have the link here. So you can send it directly on email, or you could just copy this URL and send it with your employees on WhatsApp, on text messaging, or email. So that's how it works. What we will do is we will go ahead and we will create, or we will add a few responses to this newly created form. And once we have the inputs, we'll then go ahead and we will add the dashboard view for you. So what I'll do is I'll just pause the video here. I'll go add a few responses And then I will start again and I will show you how to create the dashboard. Okay, so now I have added a few responses. As you can see, I've added 4 responses. So here in the form as well, in the edit view, you could see each response in detail, but it's best that you check the responses in the spreadsheet view. So here you can see all the 4 responses have been submitted. Just one change here in the creating of the form, I had enabled email addresses in the form defaults as well, and collect email addresses was also enabled. So disable that, otherwise it will automatically give the logged in email, and it will also ask the person to manually submit the email. So disable this before you share the form. And then once the responses are submitted, so here we have the responses that have been submitted. So let's once go to the response spreadsheet. So here the spreadsheet is there. Let's submit one more response while we are on this call. So employee ID, name of the employee, this is how it works. So the amount, let's say 1100, sales, food, it was spent on in a sales meeting, we can't bill that to the client. Remark, lunch with client, and then click on submit. So the email would go to the respondent and they could submit another response, and you will also get that in your admin view. So here you can see the one that we added now, the 5th one has also been created. So you have all the responses here. What we now need to do is create the dashboard. But before that, let's add the columns for approvals. Now in this case, suppose in case if you have a reviewer and then an approver, then you would need to create 2 sets of columns, one for the reviewer and one for the approver. But the process remains the same. So let's just start with the approvers. Let's add the approver name, date of approval, status, so whether approved, yes or no, and remarks. In the status, let's add a validation. So go to data, go to data validation, click on list of items. Yes, if approved, no, if not approved, and hold in case if further information is required. Add a little color formatting so that it's easy to see visually the approved and the not approved claims. So if text contains yes, then green, done. So that's how it is. And then in case if it is not approved, so text contains no, then let's make it red, done. So you can add another one for in case if it is on hold or not. So the process is the same. So let's say the first one, which says sales, travel, meeting a client, and it is billable to the client. Let's say Amit is the approver. Approval date is 26 September 2022, and Amit approves the claim. So it's yes, approved. We can add a detailed remarks. For the demo, let's just keep it as yes. And then we have another expenses, HR, admin, Nitesh, Anita. Let's take it for Anita. Admin, equipment, maintenance. So here's a maintenance expense. Again, Amit, 26 September 22. Let's say he wants more information. So put on hold, send details and discuss. And then we have another one here from Nitesh, which is on food. So again, Amit, 26 September 22. Let's say Amit just declines the claim, not as per policy. The remaining 2 are still pending. Let's go ahead and create the expense dashboard. So I'll rename it dashboard. Now what we want are reports. One is function wise, category wise, billable to the client, yes or no. So the process remains the same. Let's first make it department wise. So the departments that we have, I'll pick up the name from the actual form. Okay, so what are the departments that we have? So HR, sales, marketing, admin, ops, HR, sales, marketing, admin, ops. So this is the department. Total expense, approved, declined, hold, and pending. So then you need to just add the formulas. So equal to sum if we need to select the range. So go to form responses. You have the department name here. So select that. Then you need to know the category. So select HR, comma, and then you need to select the sum range here. So this is the amount column. So let's go ahead and let's select the amount column, bracket closed. And here you have HR. Just go ahead and copy this and then add a little sum column here is equal to sum. Done. So 15,500. So is that the total that we have? Yes. So that's the amount. So function wise, you could see that, okay, sales is about 3,400, HR 5,000. Now you want to see whether it's approved or not. So here you'll take sum if S. First, you have to take the sum range. Let's go. Let's take the sum range, comma. Criteria range 1 is the department, comma. We will select the department, HR, comma. Then we'll go to form responses and we'll have to take the approval column. So status yes, comma, inverted comma, yes, because yes means approved. So here it says 0 approved. Great. So we only had one approved, that's 2,300 for sales. One was declined and the other was pending. So we will copy the same formula. I'll just go ahead and make this constant because that's what we want to do. Constant. Here we want to make B as constant, not 7. That'll keep changing. Again, N will also be constant. And then I will copy it in the other two columns. Now for declined, it would not be yes, it would be no. And we'll copy the formula. For hold, it would be hold. Again, we'll copy the formula. So there you get the options. We'll copy the sum formula. So here you can see, we also need to take the pending. So pending would be total minus sum of approve, decline, and hold. So that's what we do. So here you can see the sum matches. That's how it is. So just a little formatting to make it look a little good. Here it is. Total. And then let's just select the borders. Let's make the headers bold. Add a color to the header. Choose it as per your choice. I'm just doing this as a demo. And make the total column bold. I'll just make one table and I'll show you how similarly you can make it for category as well, employee as well. You could add a little conditional formatting. So format, conditional formatting, go to color scale. So minimum, we'll keep it as white. Mid value at 50%, we will keep it as light yellow. And then max value, we will keep it as green. Done. So this gives you a visual representation that, okay, ops hasn't spent anything. Admin is lower compared to marketing, sales, and HR. So as and when you add more expenses, you can get that visual representation. And then you also get a clear view of for each function, what is approved, what is declined, and what is pending. So you could go ahead and review it maybe twice a week, once a week, depending on the frequency. And then you could add other headers here. So I'll just add one and then I'll show you how the finished one looks like. So let's say you want to have total, for example. So let's make the alignment as center. Again, center, bold. So this will be equal to this. That's the total expense. Approved is equal to this. Declined is equal to this. Hold is equal to this. So that's just a company level representation. Pending is this. And then you can also add a little color formatting here and there. Add your company logo on the side. So I'll just show you how that looks. So that's done. You could again add a little color here. That's done. If you want this to be formatted as numbers, you could go ahead and click on numbers, number. Remove the decimals if that's what you don't want. So that's your dashboard. So once you add other tables, this is how your dashboard would look. So just a little more formatted, but this will take a little more time to format it. But then eventually this is what you get. Total expenses, approved, denied, hold, pending, the function-wise report which we had created. Similarly, we have a category-wise report. The formula is the same. Instead of function, you have category names, and that's how the formula picks it up. The formatting also remains the same, and then you have the employee name. Here we also have the contribution column, which is simple to add. If you just go ahead and contribution is just a percentage-wise representation that how much does this department contribute to your overall expense. So let's just add an if error in case if a department hasn't spent, so you don't get an error value. So total spend by the department divided by the total expense, make it constant, comma 0, and then make it percentage and copy it throughout. Again, align it in the center. Bold, add a little color to it. And then that's how it's made. So that's how the reports have been made. This is how your dashboard will look. And it makes it easier for you to manage your overall company expenses, look at the total expense, look at how much is approved, denied, on hold, or pending for various reasons. Look at function-wise spends, look at category-wise spend, look at employee-wise spend, and look at what percentage of the expense was billable, what was not. So hope this second video where we created a form right from scratch, from start to end. I know that we didn't complete the entire formatting, but if you know to create one table, the others are exactly the same. But in case if you need any help or if you have any questions, write in the comment section. I'll reply to your comment as soon as I can, usually within a few hours or within one day at the most. And if you have any further questions, if you really want one-on-one help, go to my website. I'll leave the contact link there, fill up the contact form, and I shall reply to you there as well and give you and help you create one from scratch if you need guidance in creating this, or if you need help in creating other such systems using Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. Again, fill up the contact form. I'll be happy to talk to you. So hope this helps. You don't need to really pay for a software. You could use and create this for free using Google Forms and Sheet. So go ahead and do that. Take control of your expenses. Take control of the cost. That'll be a big help in managing your business finances. If you have any tips for me, any feedback, any suggestions, any questions, write in the comment section. And if you have not yet, do subscribe to my channel to show some love and support. See you in my other videos. Till then, take care and be safe.